Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Jake with Mind Over Mind, and today I'm going to be reviewing Season 2, which is technically episodes of 3 and 4 of Bionicle, The Journey to One on Netflix. So, now that this series has concluded, we now know definitively that Bionicle has ended. So it really influences how I feel about the show. It shouldn't, but in a way it does. And now I'm going to feel a little bit more sentimental going into this review about this show than I would normally. So first off, episode 3. It's a fairly standard. I will say though that the writing for this episode really stands out, and it's not a good way either. It's actually pretty bad compared to the first 2 episodes and the final episode. I think it's the weakest of the episodes. But it basically shows Umarak kind of rising to power, summoning the beasts, the Quake Beast, the Lava Beast, and the Storm Beasts. And it shows the Toa kind of combating them. And I think some really cool fight scenes occur during this episode, but it's nothing super special, but it does, have some impact on the story. So basically, after the Toa, kind of fight Umarak, fight the Storm Beasts, we see a Kimu, which is super cool, and he basically says, hey, I've been sitting on the sidelines long enough, and he basically suits up, becomes this Toa form of a Kimu, and it's really cool to see him kind of enter the picture as well. He also has an eagle, which kind of rests on his arm, and he basically is able to see what it sees, and it gives the Toa the ability to basically see whatever it's seen in the past, and it's a really cool kind of ability that bird has. But overall, season 3, it was a decent episode, but season 4 is where it really kicks off. I really enjoyed season 4. Basically, we see Umarak finally reach the portal. He of course summons more beasts, but they fall very quickly to the hands of the Toa. And did anyone else get the Borok vibe from, I know this isn't episode 3, but did anyone else get the Borok vibe from the beasts when they destroyed the jungle village? And Liwa kind of walked up to them, and he's like, why do they do this? There's no reason for them to strike out like this. I got a major Borok vibe from that, when they were destroying the forests, and it was in 2002, 2003. They were just rampaging all across the island, just cleaning it all. It must be clean. I got that kind of vibe in episode 3, but that's episode 3. Episode 4, we see several of the Toa come together, and they approach the portal that Umarak is trying to open up into the dark realm, which is kind of like an alternate universe. If anyone has seen Stranger Things, which is a new episode original series, also on Netflix, pretty new, there's a similar concept. Very good show. If you want to check that out, you might be interested if you like Bionicle. Has some cool storytelling elements. Good show. But this is about Bionicle, Journey to One. It's season 2, episodes 3 and 4. But if you include the prologue, it's 4 and 5. Anyway, it's confusing. But so they finally reach this portal. Umarak has collected all of the shards of the Mask of the Ultimate Power, which is powering up the portal. And then, of course, he takes all the Toa weapons away. He uses those to power the portal. And Gali, if you guys haven't watched this already, by the way, there's a little bit of a spoiler here. Gali goes into the portal. She's able to see kind of that dark realm. She sees Makuta, and then she sees the prophecy, what the Toa are intended to do. And major spoiler alert if you have not watched Journey to One, but you guys are all hardcore Bionicle fans, I'm sure. And if you really cared about Bionicle this much, you would, of course, watch Journey to One, unless you don't have Netflix. I apologize. But if you want to know the story and you don't have Netflix, I would definitely recommend going to an online site to get a synopsis. But don't watch it illegally online. That's not cool. And don't be one of those people who uploads it to YouTube. That's also not cool because that's illegal. But they finally, getting off topic, they finally reach the portal. And of course, Gali sees Makuta, like I said earlier. Then she gets out of the portal. She realizes what the Toa must do. And like referenced in episode 3, Makuta, or at least in episode 4, it shows Makuta, it shows a flashback. Makuta is forging elements into masks, and that's not allowed. And when he does all 6 of them at the same time, that's when it takes over his his mind and takes that jealousy that he's feeling towards Akimu and harvests that and makes him evil, just straight up evil. When Gali comes out of the portal, she says, hey, we got to use all of our 6 elemental powers together to seal this portal. They do that, they kind of levitate in the air, they use their 6 elemental powers. That seals the portal just as Makuta is reaching out, but in turn, that sends them back into the stars. That basically, it wasn't super clear on what that did, but it like drained their power in such a way that they had to basically return to the sky from which they came, and basically it concluded with them, watching down on the island of Hakoto in case something else happens where they need their help again. And if something like that were to happen again, then they would be able to return to Hakoto to save the day once more. When the episode ended, I felt a huge sense of bittersweetness. I thought it was a very cool way to handle the Toa's endings, because it's not saying like no one died, they're still there watching, but they're not here anymore. And that's kind of where it hit me in the feels. Like these heroes that we've grown to love, these new versions of these heroes. They're cool. They have a lot of character, but they're not with us anymore. They're watching from above. So that was a very bittersweet way to end the episode. Overall, I thought season 2 is good. I really like the flashback stuff, like I said in my reaction to Bionicle Generation 2 getting canned. I love the flashback stuff to showing the capital city where Akimu and where Makuta, originated from, and seeing their relationship before all this happened. I was really hoping we'd see more of that stuff in the 3rd year of Bionicle, showing like how the background fleshed out more of that stuff from the lore. But unfortunately, if you guys haven't heard, Bionicle Generation 2 has been canceled, and they aren't even doing a 3rd year. Stick around for updates on that, by the way, after the ending of this review. But that's pretty much it. I really enjoyed it. I do believe that because of episode 3 and how iffy it was, I do believe that episode 4 really made up for that kind of lackluster episode. And I do have to say, I did enjoy Season 2 much more than Season 1. Even though I did like Season 1, I just think Season 2 had so many more cool elements that appealed to me personally. And I liked it, I enjoyed it, and I loved the ending. Makuta, bummed that we won't be able to get a Makuta set, but he looked cool, and I'm sure there's going to be some mockers out there who are going to be able to create him. But yeah, I really enjoyed Season 2, guys. If you haven't watched it, please check it out, and just help give Bionicle the send-off it deserves by just treating yourself to this awesome series. So, with the review out of the way, I just wanted to say a couple things before I sign off. First off, I wanted to make some corrections to my original statements in my Bionicle Generation 2 kind of reaction video. And if you haven't seen that, click that box right there. It's going to be playing for a couple seconds, but you should check that out. I was in shock, you guys. I'm not even kidding. And I didn't even hear the full update on what happened when I recorded that video and uploaded it. But something I didn't even realize is that they aren't even releasing any more sets. When I filmed that video, I thought they would at least put out the final wave of this year, because I was expecting a Makuta set and a Mask of Time as well, and a Mask of Ultimate Power. But I didn't even realize that with Umurak the Destroyer and the Quake Beasts and Akimu, I didn't realize that was the last set. Those are the last sets. That is the last wave we're getting, guys. That is it. I'm sure you guys know that. I'm the only one who didn't know that at the time. But that just came as more of a shock to me, realizing that like 5-10 minutes after I uploaded the video, I was like, wait a minute. Like, they aren't making any more sets. They're just chopping off. They waited 2 years. We got 2 full years. They're totally just chopping off the 3rd year. And that sucks. Like, I thought that it sucked that they were ending it 6 months early and not giving us any more story like I initially thought. But they're just straight up chopping off that final year. And that sucks. That really does. I love this franchise. I love these sets, these characters we've gotten to know. Even if they aren't as fleshed out as Generation 1, I still had a blast building these characters. These sets, I can't even emphasize, these sets are the coolest sets that we've got, especially Waves 3 and 4. These sets are so stellar, they are so rad. Even comparing them to Generation 1, which is like unheard of, they are like some of the best sets we've ever gotten out of Bionicle, Generation 1 or Generation 2 ever. These are great, and it's just sad for me to see these gone. It's sad for me to see an entire year of Bionicle potential just totally taken out of the picture. I would have loved to see more of that story. We were just getting to it, and like I said before, that was the peak. Right where we are right now with the sets, with the story, that is the high point of Bionicle, and the fact that we're cutting it off here is huge disappointment. Don't get me wrong, I'm so happy, guys. I'm so happy that Bionicle Generation 2 was a thing, that we got to revisit that world and that nostalgia again. I was able to relive my childhood, you guys. Like, growing up with Bionicle in like 2002, 2003, I mean, I followed it the whole time, but like, the glory years for me with Bionicle was the Toa Nuva and the Toa Metru, and getting those Toa Nuva characters back again was like crazy to me. And the fact that we are saying goodbye to those characters for a second time is a huge disappointment, and I'm sad by that. I'm really sad, because these are the guys that I like. These are the heroes that I grew. I wasn't a huge superhero guy. These were my heroes, and it's a bummer. I literally was like on the verge of tears in the last video. I'm sure you guys were able to see. My voice was cracking crazily. Is that a word, crazily? Yeah, it is. And it was sad. It was a sad moment. But we are behind that, or we are in front of that. That is behind us. So yeah, Bionicle, loved you, buddy. I'm sad to see you go again. What do you guys think? Will they bring Bionicle back? Will they have the opportunity ever? If this, in my thought process, if Bionicle didn't work out this year and it did so poorly that they chopped off the entire third year, that really speaks to Lego, saying like, hey, these kids don't even like this anymore. Maybe kids will never like this franchise again. That's just my thought process. I just don't think that Bionicle will ever be a thing again, ever. Unless they wait like 20... Will Lego even be a thing then? Like, will construction buildable figure action heroes be a thing then? I just don't even know, you guys. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Will Bionicle come back? If not, you know, it'll be sad. Last thing I wanted to talk about, this space that I'm currently in. I had to move out of my old room because I will be moving on campus. I will be living on campus in college as a sophomore. And we have exchange students that live with us during the school year who go to my old high school. So I'm currently living in the guest house, and it's a little bit under construction right now, but it works. So if you guys are wondering what the markings on the wall back there are, those are just plans. I don't know. My dad did it. Don't ask me. So yeah, that's that. Alright, this is a new segment that I'm going to be putting at the end of almost every of my videos, starting now. It's what I'm into. You guys want to get to know me? This is what I'm into. So, this is just a random segment that I get to just talk about something completely unrelated to Bionicle that I'm into. You guys might enjoy it too. Today's subject, 21 Pilots. Do you guys like 21 Pilots? If you don't, well, you probably want to turn off now, but if you don't even know who they are, they're like a poppy hip-hop band with kind of like reggae, rap. It's really good, and it's alternative, and you've never really heard something like this before. So I just went to one of their concerts, the Emotional Roadshow tour. They stopped in Phoenix, Arizona. Fantastic. Like this group of individuals, I just admire so much. And ever since they came in on July 26th and they played in Phoenix, I have listened to nothing but 21 Pilots. I'm obsessed now. I want a 21 Pilots pillow. I want a flag. I want 21 Pilots phone cases. Is that weird? I'm going crazy, you guys. And if you guys like 21 Pilots, like, you know that their fan base is super dedicated, almost like to Bionicle. But if you are a fan of 21 Pilots, let me know in the comments below. And that's pretty much it about me, getting to know me a little bit more. I love 21 Pilots. They're one of my favorite bands. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and this new segment. As always, I love you guys so much, and stay subscribed for more Bionicle stuff. More stuff coming, by the way. My summer's been crazy. I don't want to get into it, but that's the reason why I haven't done those videos yet and reviews. Sadly, those reviews won't be coming for a while, but they will be coming, I promise you. So, Jake with Mind Over Mind, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next Bionicle video. See you guys later.